Hey everyone, French Tutor here. Kuro Games just released the official kit for Phrolova, so I kinda want to break down how this character works and her basic kit, and let's figure out if this character is right for you, and also answer the question, does she really need Cantarella? And yeah, let's get started. Okay, so first, what type of character is Phrolova? She's a Havoc Rectifier user. For combat roles, she's a main DPS. She focuses on resonant skill damage, and not listed here, also echo skill damage. And then her outro skill is going to amplify Havoc damage and Heavy Atk damage. So technically, she is the best in slot for Rochia. Now let's talk about her basic kit. They have a basic breakdown and a more detailed breakdown. We'll use both, but sometimes it's a little too basic, so I'm going to show you more details as well. Alright, starting off with her basic attack, it's going to be a 3-hit combo, pretty standard for a Rectifier user. But once you get to basic attack 3, she enters Reincarnate state. Okay, so when we're in that state, we have two options here. You can press normal attack, and you'll use something called Movement of Fate and Finality. This stagnates the target, and it's considered resonant skill damage. Or you can press your resonant skill to cast something called Murmurs in a Haunting Dream. Also considered resonant skill damage, and looks like the reincarnate state ends afterwards. Another way to get into the reincarnate state is by using a resonant skill. And even in the detailed description, there's not much to say about it, I guess it just attacks. Okay, let's look at the 2.5 livestream for some clues of how her moves look like. So instead of Phrolova attacking directly, she's actually going to control Hecate to attack. And it looks like this is going to be basic attack 1, 2, and then 3 right there, like that. And for her resonant skill, it's just going to be an attack like this. Now let's take a look at her reincarnate state. So again, after basic attack 3, usually in this game, like some icons will pop up or like light up. So in this case, that looks like it's going to be basic attack 3. And now you can see your basic attack button and your resonant skill button lights up, right? To understand her kit better, let's talk a little bit more about her Forte Circuit. So if you see here, when she uses certain attacks, she starts like coming up with these notes. So if you see here, like when she attacks, you'll see that she gets like all these different kinds of notes. There's a red, purple, and then this other note that's kind of both. Okay, and I think in the basic details of her skills, explain it in a very straightforward way. So if you hit with basic attack 3, or you use enhanced basic attack, right? The 4th hit, the follow-up attack, you're going to get a red note. If you hit with your resonant skill, or your enhanced resonant skill, you're going to get a purple note. I'm going to explain about the combined note, that kind of red and purplish bigger note, later. Also keep in mind, you don't have to just do like basic attack and then basic attack again, and resonant skill again. You can mix and match, you can chain them. So you can do your basic attack and then enhance resonant skill, or like resonant skill and enhance basic attack. And again, to use these enhanced basic attacks or enhanced resonant skills, you need to be in the reincarnate state. If you want to know what they're actually called, those notes on her Forte gauge are called volatile notes. The red ones are going to be called volatile note strings, and the purple ones are going to be called volatile note winds. And then later we can learn about the differences between them. Okay, so now you know how the notes work. It's easier to figure out which move is which. So from here, we're going to cast basic attack 3, and then this move right here, that was enhanced basic attack. Okay, for resonant skill, enhanced resonant skill, we want to see some purple. So here we go, resonant skill, and then this is the enhanced resonant skill right there, like that. Okay, let's not forget about that big red purplish note. That is called volatile note cadenza. And you get that after you cast your intro skill, your enhanced intro skill, or your echo skill. And then we'll learn what this specific note does as well later. Okay, so once we get that Forte gauge full, right, we have full amount of notes, her enhanced heavy attack is going to become available. And this skill does a lot of damage, it says. And it's considered resonant skill damage. So this enhanced heavy attack is called Scarlet Coda. So it looks like you have to unlock these 3 conditions. So to get a full Forte gauge, we need 6 volatile notes in the composed state. So I'm assuming once you just have 6 notes. And that's pretty much it. Okay, let's take a look again here. We have a full Forte gauge here. And then this is going to unlock this move, Scarlet Coda, your enhanced heavy attack. And it looks like that. A few more details about our enhanced heavy attack. it stagnates, right? So this could be slow or stops. Not exactly sure yet. And it's going to pull in nearby targets. Also consider resonance skill damage. Casting this skill is considered casting an echo skill. It also mentions something about Aftersound. I'm going to teach you that a little bit later. And finally, this activates the resolving chord state. So we use our enhanced heavy attack, use Scarlet Coda. We enter the resolving chord state. This unlocks your liberation. It doesn't consume any resonance energy actually. So instead of gaining resonance energy to use her liberation, all you have to do is just get 6 notes and then use her enhanced heavy attack. Okay, so now the resolving chord state ends and then she enters another state called Maestro state for 24 seconds. Okay, let's actually take a look at her resonance liberation and then let me explain a few things a little bit more simply. Okay, so liberation looks like this. There's this little cutscene right here. And then she just kind of sits up top of this. Okay, now we're in the Maestro state. Now you have 2 options. You can stay on the field and command Hecate. So now you can see that you're commanding to just attack manually here. Or you can just switch to another resonator and let Hecate like auto attack. You can see here that Hecate's still attacking. Okay, so a few differences between like staying on field or going off field. Okay, but first, Hecate is going to share Phrolova's stats and statuses. But now the key differences between staying on field or going off field. Staying on field, you're going to take damage if Hecate takes damage. When Phrolova is not the active resonator, Hecate takes no damage, so she takes no damage as well. Okay, stay with me. Now we have to learn like how and why Hecate attacks. So basically when you're in the Maestro state, you're going to be playing all the notes that you came up with. So all the red, purple, and the red purplish big notes. If you see here, it's like kind of moving from left to right slowly like this. It takes 4 seconds to play a note. Okay, so Hecate either does a basic attack or enhanced attack. For basic attacks, it doesn't matter which note you have, but for the enhanced attacks, it does. So now, if Phrolova plays volatile note strings, the red notes, you're going to use an attack that stagnates targets. And again, to get the red strings, you use your basic attack 3 or your enhanced basic attack. And for purple notes, you're going to use your enhanced attack, Hecate Wins. And when you use this attack, this one pulls in targets, okay? So one stagnates and one pulls in targets. So those are the differences here. And then finally, when you have the combined note, the Cadenza note, your enhanced attack is going to stagnate and pull the targets in. So it's a combination, right? First off, these are all considered echo skill damage. But I don't think there's any clues to tell you like which one does more damage. So I think it's like, yeah, you should definitely get more notes that do more damage. And then based on the situation, right? Because stagnating is always good, but pulling in targets, like if you're fighting like one boss, maybe it's not as useful. And then having Cadenza just, it just solves every problem. So yeah, it's a very versatile kit. Okay, so we want to use those enhanced liberation attacks as much as possible. But how do we do that? If we are on field, Hecate just has to use basic attack twice. And then the third attack is always going to be enhanced attack. Okay, but if you switch off field with Phrolova, Hecate is only going to use like basic attacks if you don't do anything else. So in order to use your enhanced attacks that we talked about, your teammates need to cast their echo skill. So let's say Rochia comes in, she does her rotation, uses her echo skill at the end, then Hecate is going to use their enhanced attack. Okay, so what do? Do we stay on field and manually use Hecate? Or do we switch off and then let Hecate attack automatically? So I think in normal situations, you should switch out and then let your other resonators attack. But like, let's say like a boss, like towards the end when they're low on health, I think you could just stay on and just manually attack with Hecate, use your enhanced attacks faster, and finish things off quicker. Oh, and okay, let's actually talk about Aftersound for a second. So now we can talk about it since we know most of her kit. Just real quickly, when we were talking about Phrolova's enhanced heavy attack, Scarlet Coda, this Forte could do a lot more damage if you have stacks of Aftersound. Basically, the way to get Aftersound is you have to use Phrolova's Liberation, and when she is off the field, not the active resonator, when you cast your enhanced attacks with your other resonators by using your echo skills, right? That's how you're going to get stacks of Aftersound. So the more echo skills you use, the more enhanced attacks you'll do, and then your enhanced heavy attack with Phrolova will do more damage. And the inherent skill that you have to know with Aftersound, you just get 10 stacks after entering battle. But also, every stack of Aftersound, your crit damage is increased by 2.5%, which is amazing. And then after you reach the max amount of Aftersound, each new stack of Aftersound increases her crit damage by 1% up to 100%. So Aftersound is pretty important, right? Okay, and then towards the end of her liberation, so it looks like she's going to use a skill called Curtain Call, or you're going to use your enhanced intro skill right here. So it looks like there's 5 ways to use Curtain Call. If Phrolova is active on the field and 24 seconds are up, you can use it. If you're off field, switch to Phrolova and you don't use your intro skill, you can use this as well. When she is off field and then her liberation ends, you can switch back to Phrolova without casting your intro skill. Or if Phrolova is on the field, just press your liberation when you're in the liberation mode of 24 seconds. Lastly, when she's in the resolving court state, this is right after you use your enhanced heavy attack, you just hold your resonance liberation. Okay, and the current call skill looks like this, just like that. Okay, now that you understand Phrolova's kit, why is Cantarella actually good with Phrolova? Well, the obvious answer is that she's going to amplify havoc damage and resonance skill damage. That's the easy answer. Okay, we just talked about this, but once Phrolova switches off the field after she uses her liberation, Hecate attacks automatically, and in order for Hecate to use stronger attacks, the enhanced liberation attacks, we need to use the other party member's echo skill. The special thing about Cantarella is that some of her skills are considered using an echo skill. So for example, once you use her enhanced resonance skill, Flickering Reverie, that's considered using an echo skill. Also, when you use her Forte resonance skill, Perception Drain, that is also considered using an echo skill. Lastly, just using her liberation is considered casting an echo skill. And the final echo skill is your actual echo skill. So that's going to be 4 instances of using echo skills, right? So Hecate can use 4 enhanced liberation attacks, which do a lot of damage probably. Okay, but now stay with me here. Okay, now it's kind of a snowball effect here. When we use those echo skills, we get stacks of Aftersound when we use those enhanced liberation attacks. And what does Aftersound do? Aftersound is going to increase the damage multiplier of your enhanced heavy attack, Scarlet Coda. And remember, this attack is really strong. And on top of that, a stack of Aftersound gives 2.5% crit damage. So it all just adds up. That's the importance of having Cantarella for this team. Now for the question, does Phrolova require Cantarella? So this is my answer. Even now we know Kuro Games does a pretty good job with balancing their characters and not really requiring a character's best support character. I think we've established this by now, right? Like Zani can survive without Phoebe, and then Carthea can survive without Chacona, right? But I think it's a little bit different in this case if you don't have Cantarella. The other available resonators that you can use, that's not on another team, would be either Lumi and I'm not exactly sure yet, but maybe with Tao-Chi. I think Tao-Chi works better with Cantarella, but these are the resonators that will support and then boost resonance skill damage for Phrolova, and she's going to be the main damage dealer of that team, right? The issue is these both, their rotations are very slow. They get conservative energy really, it's not super slow, but it is pretty slow. They're not designed to be very conservative efficient. So that's what you're going to feel. You're going to feel wow, it's taking a long time to get my setup. So again, let's say for a Lumi team, it's going to look it's probably going to be Phrolova, Lumi, and then a healer. And then Shorekeeper would probably be the best. Brand could be an option. I mean, their rotation is much faster, right? You get your Concerto gauge up faster. But I mean, brands usually on another team, maybe your Changli or your Lupa team, right? So does Phrolova need Cantarella? No, and you can have other resonators like do a good amount of damage later. Your clear times will be slower, but it's not gonna be like a huge amount of difference. I don't think it's gonna be like 30 seconds like faster or slower, but your rotations are gonna feel pretty slow. Alright, thank you so much for watching again. If you liked the video, please make sure to like and subscribe. It's one of the best ways to support me. If you want to see some of my character guides or beginner guides, you can take a look on the left here. Other than that, thank you so much for watching again. Take care now.